wanted to cover the Talking Heads because I fell in love with the Talking Heads from Fear of Music.
Was everybody in the band sort of on board with this idea of this
they were
polyglot approach?
Yeah, because I was kind of like going, yeah, man, let's try. Because at that point, they were willing to listen to me. So you have a brief window, bro. You have a brief window when your compatriots are willing to listen. You have a brief window. It's a shit. And while they're willing to listen, then make hay while you may, right? So it was kind of like we went with it, and like the Talking Heads thing, I knew that they had history with CBGBs, and I fell in. I love the David Byrne thing and and Adrian Belew, the Remain in Light and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But before that, they had this record, Fear of Music. And I was listening to Memories Can't Wait. And I said, I think I could do something. I think this could work. It was based around the kind of bass line. I said, we can make this happen.
Yeah.
And I brought it into rehearsal and I said, hey man, play this, play that. And we did it. And and CBGB's was our laboratory. So we would, we were right there on 1102 Broadway in Brooklyn, in Bushwick. And, we straight shot over the Williamsburg Bridge, turn, go right, on Bowery, and you're right there, So like even with Cult was written in one rehearsal. And for me, that's one of the greatest, not because that it was a hit, but because from the moment I stumbled on the riff, and I yelled at Will, said, yo, man, put a beat to this. And then suddenly the song assembled itself using us to do it. It's the best way I could describe it.
Yeah.
We didn't get in the way. Nobody went on a trip. We went we went where the song took us.
Yeah.
And we had it at the other end. And really, I give our producer Ed Stasium a huge amount of credit because, when we first did it, it was kind of like the bridge was I had this whole intro with the bridge, and then we did this bridge thing, and then we played the sample, and then we played the riff.
Okay.
Right? So it was kind of proggy, right?
Yeah. And
then he said, yo, man, this taking too long to get to the riff, let's get to and at first, the first iteration of it, it was Martin Luther King, free at last, free at last.
Yeah.
Thank Almighty we're free at last. We couldn't clear it with the King Foundation. And I was in Harlem. I was walking around and I heard the speech, there was like cats were selling all kind of stuff, and they had guy had a boombox, and I heard, let's write, in the few months we have left, let's talk right down to earth in a language everybody here can easily understand. And I was like, I want that cassette. I went and I swapped it, and it turned out that my first wife was very close with one of Malcolm's daughters, Malak Shabazz. And this is while we were dating before, and so she used to come out to see us.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So I swapped this thing. She thought, man, that's great. That's my dad. Da, da, da. And then, and we were allowed to do it. And then, and the rest is history. When we played a Saturday Night Live, which was funny.
By the way, you're let's see, April 1st, 1989.